From short films to documentaries, Southeast Texas native Gordon Williams has a resume that's quite long. The longtime studio operations manager of Lamar University student-run news, LUTV, has educated hundreds of students over the years, all while getting to produce numerous award-winning projects. His plate is full, but that means his heart is full also, getting to pursue his dream career in film and be an advocate for the preservation of history.
It is not safe for us to leave.
The art of filmmaking is a passion for Gordon Williams.
Growing up, I always wanted to learn how television and movies and all those things were made, so that led me to come here.
The Cleveland, Texas native has spent the last 25 plus years in Beaumont at Lamar University as the LUTV studio operations manager and staff member in the Department of Communications. Two of his most recent projects have not only allowed him to follow his passion, but to preserve history.
It's important to preserve Black history in Southeast Texas because it's instrumental to the history of Southeast Texas.
They Will Talk About Us, the Charlton-Pollard story, is a documentary about the oldest Black neighborhood in Beaumont.
We started doing the research, and there wasn't a lot to find different places, so word of mouth, talking to people that lived in the community was huge. Once we were able to make that connection, the history just kind of flooded out, and people wanted to talk about this community.
Thanks to ExxonMobil, Lamar students were paid to work on the project, learning about the sense of pride residents and their descendants proudly shared.
Showed it to various groups of different races in different cities, and it's always, we would talk about the film, but the tail end of the conversations always went back to where they grew up, their high school, what their community was like.
But another project took him from the pride in one Black neighborhood to the pain of the Southeast Texas Black community as a whole.
It don't seem right.
The Example is a historical fiction set during the 1943 Beaumont race riot.
Back in the early 2000s, I saw a line in a book that said there were race riots in Detroit, Los Angeles, and Beaumont, Texas in 1943, and that was it. Growing up in Texas, this was not something I heard about in Texas history.
In creating the film, Williams said they had to have difficult conversations surrounding certain words, upbringing, sensibilities in the 1940s, and current events.
Baltimore was happening. Cleveland, Tamir Rice, Ferguson, all these things were happening in the nation to where it made us focus in and decide this is a story that we need to tell. We wanted people to know that we're not trying to sensationalize what's going on.
Williams recalls a powerful moment that was too much even for him.
There's a scene in the film to where one of the characters spits in the face of another character, and even though I wrote it, I knew it was coming up, but on set I had to turn away. Wow. Because it was difficult to watch.
Williams and his work have been featured in newspapers, magazines, and university publications and screened at more than 70 film festivals. In 2023, he received a special congressional recognition for his work from Congressman Brian Babin. But Williams doesn't focus on the awards. His attention is on the art, using his passion, bringing both pride and pain to the screen.
We're getting to follow our passions. We're hoping that we're inspiring other people to follow their passion. But we also see that we're creating opportunities by doing these projects, especially in Southeast Texas.
And get this, on Tuesday, Williams screened both films at the Black Film Center and Archive in Indiana, and both were added to the collection. It's the only archival repository in the world that preserves historically and culturally significant films by and about Black people.